The Golden Boy Award, for those of you who don't know, is essentially like a European-wide Young Player of the Year award. All players under the age of 21 playing in a European top flight are eligible, and the voting is made by journalists from across the continent. Winners of the award have gone on to have mixed fates for the most part, featuring future greats like Wayne Rooney, Cesc Fabregas, and Lionel Messi, but also some players who failed to reach the heights once expected of them, such as Anderson, Alexander Pato, and Mario Balotelli. If it's videos about Golden Boy winners you want, I've pretty much got you covered, having previously looked at the first and last 7 winners of the award. Today's video is not about the winners, but the nominees, and the nominees in 2012 to be specific. Why 2012? Well, because it was the year our dear leader Queen Elizabeth celebrated 60 years ruling over us by sitting stony-faced as will.i.am sang a beautiful rendition of I Got a Feeling Of Course. No, not really. It's just an interesting set of nominees that I thought would make for an interesting video, from a year of football that brought us the Aguero moment, an improbable first Champions League title for Chelsea, and Spain's 3rd consecutive major international trophy. I must warn you, 40 players are nominated for the Golden Boy Award, so this could be a long one. I'll try to be brief though, as the sooner I get this finished, the sooner I can load up Football Manager on the sofa and try to secure Champions League qualification in my 4th season with Bristol City. Okay then, here are all 40 nominees for the 2012 Golden Boy Award. Where are they now? David Alaba, Bayern Munich. You won't find many players in this video still contracted to the clubs they were playing for back in 2012, but David Alaba is one of them. Touted for greatness in Austria since the age of 16, Alaba broke into the Bayern Munich team in 2010, but only started to get regular game time in the 2011-12 campaign. The 27-year-old was a serious candidate for the 2012 Golden Boy Award, and he's one of the biggest success stories in this entire video. SHENHUA Ananidze, Anorthosis Famagusta. Just as a heads up, the video is ordered alphabetically by the players' surnames, not in order of fame or ability, as you can probably tell by the fact that SHENHUA Ananidze is our second inclusion. Ananidze wasn't one of the frontrunners in 2012, and he may be the least well-known player in this video. A full Georgian international since the age of 17, Ananidze's nomination was a result primarily of his impressive performances for Spartak Moscow in the Europa League. Ananidze only officially left Spartak at the start of this year, signing for Cypriot outfit Anorthosis Famagusta. It was recently reported that Ananidze had left Anorthosis without having made an appearance to join Georgian giants Dinamo Tbilisi, but Ananidze's agent has denied these claims. Christian Atsu, Newcastle United. Diminutive Ghanaian international Christian Atsu was contracted to Porto at the time of his Golden Boy nomination, although it was his performances on loan at Rio Ave that earned him that nomination. Atsu joined Chelsea the following year for £3.5 million, where, in true Chelsea youngster fashion, Atsu made 0 appearances but was loaned out 5 times during 4 seasons at Stamford Bridge. Atsu signed for Newcastle on a permanent basis in 2017, where he has had a quiet few seasons in truth. Jean-Christophe Bayerbeck, Utrecht. Hats off to you if you knew where Jean-Christophe Bayerbeck was in 2020, unless you're an Utrecht fan, because your football knowledge is clearly far superior to mine. Bayerbeck's Golden Boy nomination also came following a season out on loan, this one spent with Troyes, on loan from PSG. The former French youth international never made the grade at the Parc des Princes, registering only 34 league appearances, but he only left the club in 2018 for Eredivisie out for Utrecht. Joel Campbell, Club Lyon. A more familiar face to many of our subscribers, Joel Campbell has had a mixed 8 years since being nominated for the Golden Boy Award. Campbell spent 2012 on loan from Arsenal at Lorient and Real Betis, but his best loan spell came with Olympiacos in 2013-14, a season which culminated with Campbell starring for Costa Rica at the 2014 World Cup. Unfortunately, it has been largely downhill since then, and the 27-year-old currently plays for Liga MX side Club Lyon, on loan from Serie B promotion hopefuls Frosinone. Luke Castaños, Gyeongnam. Every team in the Western Hemisphere wanted to sign Luke Castaños back in 2009, following his tremendous performances at the Under-17 European Championships. Inter Milan won that race, and Castaños was nominated for the Golden Boy Award, having impressed back in the Netherlands on loan with FC Twente. Once likened in style to Thierry Henry, Castaños failed to kick on particularly over the last 5 years, and he now plays for second-tier Korean outfit Gyeongnam FC. Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid. One of the outstanding long-term success stories among 2012 Golden Boy nominees, the 2011-12 campaign, was Thibaut Courtois' first season on loan with Atletico Madrid. Courtois made 52 appearances as Atletico won the Europa League, and he went on to spend 3 seasons in the Spanish capital on loan from Chelsea. Courtois returned to Madrid in 2018, this time with Real, following an impressive 2018 World Cup, and after a difficult debut campaign, he has been much improved this season. Felipe Coutinho, Bayern Munich. Felipe Coutinho may have been nominated for the 2012 Golden Boy Award, but in truth, he was never a regular at Inter Milan, and in January 2013, he made an £8.5 million move to Liverpool. When Coutinho came to leave Liverpool, he did so as the third most expensive footballer of all time. Despite their lucrative investment, following 18 months at the Camp Nou, Coutinho was allowed to leave on loan to Bayern Munich this season, and his long-term future remains in the balance. Gerard Deulofeu, Watford. Gerard Deulofeu was nominated for the 2012 Golden Boy Award, despite the fact he couldn't get a game for Barcelona at the time and was instead starring for Barcelona B in the Segunda Division. The primary reason for his nomination was the starring role that he played in Spain's Under-19 European Championship success, where he won the Player of the Tournament award. Deulofeu has since left, rejoined, and left Barcelona again, and he is now a key man for Watford in the Premier League. Julian Draxler, PSG. One of the outstanding candidates for the 2012 Golden Boy Award, Julian Draxler, was already a key player in a Champions League side back in 2012. In fact, the 2012-13 season remains, to this day, Draxler's finest season in football. He went on to win the World Cup with Germany in 2014, signed for Wolfsburg in 2015, and then PSG in January 2017. Draxler is undeniably talented, but his move to PSG seems to have stunted his development, and he perhaps needs a fresh start in order to really kick on once again. Dudu, Palmeiras. One of the outstanding players in Brazilian football right now, diminutive attacking midfielder Dudu was starring for Dynamo Kiev back in 2012. He may have left Europe in a return to South America in 2014, but Dudu is still more than capable of playing in one of Europe's top leagues. He has been among the best players in the Campeonato Brasileiro for the last 5 years, picking up 4 Brazilian Footballer of the Year awards during that time. Stephan El Shaaraway, Shanghai SHENHUA. Back in 2012, Stephan El Shaaraway had mad hair and enormous potential. He was named as the best young revelation in Serie A in 2012, and the 2012-13 campaign, in which he scored 19 goals, remains the finest of his career. El Shaaraway left AC Milan for Roma in 2016, before signing for current club Shanghai SHENHUA in the Chinese Super League in July 2019. Christian Eriksen, Inter Milan. Christian Eriksen was the outstanding player in the Danish youth system roughly from around the time that he stopped using nappies, and by 2012, he had already had 2 seasons as a regular at Ajax. In 2013, Eriksen was one of a string of signings made by Tottenham using the money they received from the sale of Gareth Bale, but unlike the others, Eriksen was actually good. Following 6.5 years in North London, Eriksen pushed for a move in January, and he got his wish, joining Inter Milan, with only 6 months remaining on his contract at Spurs. Mario Götze, Borussia Dortmund. The first player in this video who is still with the same club they were at when they were nominated for the Golden Boy Award since David Alaba, that won't be the case for much longer for Mario Götze. Götze left Dortmund to sign for Bayern Munich in 2013, and he scored the only goal of the game as Germany won the World Cup final against Argentina in 2014. Götze has been back in Dortmund since 2016, but the club confirmed that Götze will be leaving this summer in a recent press statement. Without his myopathy and often related persistent injury problems, Götze most likely would have been one of the best players on earth for a decade or more. Now his future is anyone's guess. John Guidetti, Hanover. An absolute gem on one of the Football Manager games, although I'm not quite sure which one, around 2012 I'd guess, John Guidetti was nominated for the Golden Boy Award following a sensational season on loan at Feyenoord. Contracted to Man City at the time, Guidetti scored 20 goals in 23 games in the Eredivisie, with some tipping him as a future star at the Etihad. Alas, it wasn't to be, and the 28-year-old Swede now plays in the second Bundesliga for Hanover, on loan from Spanish side Alaves. Isco, Real Madrid. The man who saw off all the competition I've already mentioned and all those still to come in order to win the 2012 Golden Boy Award, Isco was in really inspired form during the 2 seasons he spent with Malaga. Signed by Malaga from Valencia for €6 million, Isco won the 2012 La Liga Breakthrough Player Award, and in 2013 he joined Real Madrid for €30 million. Isco is still with Los Blancos, but he can cut an incredibly frustrating figure at times. So naturally gifted and virtually unplayable on his day, sadly, it's very often not Isco's day, and age 28, the time for him to establish himself as a consistent world-class player is slipping away. Jesse Rodriguez, Sporting Club de Portugal. Rather like Gerard Deulofeu, but just on the opposite side of the El Clasico derby, Jesse Rodriguez was starring for Real Madrid's second team when he was nominated for the Golden Boy Award, a nomination that came largely thanks to his performances at the Under-19 European Championships. Jesse would later break through into the Real Madrid first team before being snapped up by PSG, and then becoming the most ineffective Stoke City loanee of all time. Jesse is still contracted to the Parisians, but he has spent this season on loan at Sporting Club de Portugal. Ola John, Vitória. Left winger Ola John shot to fame in 2011 at FC Twente, looking like the best Liberian-born footballer since, well, the only Liberian footballer most of you have ever heard of. In 2012, he was snapped up by Benfica, and loan moves to Hamburg, Reading, Wolves and Deportivo La Coruña followed. The 28-year-old finally left Benfica in 2018, joining fellow Liga NOS side Vitória. Vaclav Kadlec, free agent. The first free agent in this video, Vaclav Kadlec, was nominated for the Golden Boy Award thanks to some impressive form at Sparta Prague. In the 2012-13 season, aged 20, Kadlec scored 20 goals in 40 games, having scored on his Czech Republic debut 2 years earlier. Moves to Eintracht Frankfurt and FC Midtjylland followed, but Kadlec returned to Sparta in 2016. Following 4 seasons back in Prague, Kadlec left the club earlier this year, having been restricted to just 44 appearances during that time due to persistent knee injuries. Koke, Atletico Madrid. A one-club man and undoubtedly one of the finest players in this video, Spanish international Koke began getting regular game time with Atletico Madrid in 2011. By 2012, he was integral to Diego Simeone's plans, and 8 years on, he has made some 446 appearances for Atleti and now captains the club. Mateo Kovacic, Chelsea. Quite a polarising figure among Chelsea fans at times, Mateo Kovacic had a steady first season on loan at Stamford Bridge, but he has been greatly improved under Frank Lampard since joining the Blues on a permanent basis. Quick, brilliant on the ball, and a really good passer of the ball, Kovacic in full flight is quite an impressive sight. The Croatian international was playing for Dinamo Zagreb in 2012, before moves to Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and most recently, of course, Chelsea. Milan Lalkovic, Banik Ostrava. Milan Lalkovic is a little like London buses on this channel. In the near 3 years I've been running this channel, I don't think I've ever mentioned him before this week. Yet here he is, making his second appearance in just a week. Lalkovic featured earlier this week in a look at 7 famous Soccer M skill school battles and where those players are now, and I must admit, I'm not quite sure how he was nominated for the 2012 Golden Boy Award. The uncapped Slovakian never played for Chelsea, enjoying his best spell in English football with Warsaw, and he has been with Czech First League outfit Banik Ostrava since the summer of 2019. Eric Lamela, Tottenham. The second 2012 Golden Boy nominee who ended up at Tottenham within 12 months, Lamela, became Tottenham's all-time record signing in 2013. Unquestionably gifted, Lamela had bagged 15 goals in his final season in Serie A, but he hasn't had a campaign anywhere near as prolific as that in the Premier League. Jurgen Locadia, FC Cincinnati. The second youngest player nominated for the 2012 Golden Boy Award, Jurgen Locadia, is one of those players who I can only think of as being a prospect, despite the fact that he is 26 now. Locadia had just broken through at PSV in 2012, and he went on to spend the next 5 years starring in the Eredivisie, before being signed by Brighton for £15 million. The Dutchman is yet to really justify that fee at the Amex, and he is currently on loan in America with MLS New Boys FC Cincinnati. Samuel Longo, Venezia. The Italian Michael Hector, even Chelsea themselves, probably wouldn't have been able to loan Samuel Longo out as many times as Inter Milan have. Longo's 2012 Golden Boy nomination came following his impressive performances in the Next Gen series, on loan at Espanyol, and in Italy's youth ranks. Longo has now been with Inter Milan for more than a decade, but he has only played 2 games for the club, having gone out on loan a remarkable 11 times. Longo's current club is Venezia in Serie B, where he had scored 3 goals in 4 games before Italian football was suspended. Lazar Markovic, Partizan Belgrade. Call me crazy, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if Lazar Markovic returned to the big time at some stage, despite being back in Belgrade, right now, aged 26. It was with Partizan that Markovic was nominated for the Golden Boy Award before signing for Benfica, and subsequently Liverpool. The Serbian never made much of an impression at Anfield, although he was excellent for about 4 months on loan at Hull City under Marco Silva. A disappointing spell at Fulham was the final nail in Markovic's Premier League coffin, but he has bagged 5 goals in just 9 games since returning to Serbia, and I promise you, there's a player in there. Bruno Martins Indy, Stoke City. The Eredivisie was certainly well represented in the 2012 Golden Boy shortlist, as it often is, and Bruno Martins Indy was already a regular at Feyenoord in 2012. In fact, he was already a semi-regular for the Netherlands, and he had become a virtual ever-present by 2014. Martins Indy joined Porto in 2014 before joining Stoke City on loan in 2016. Following a superb temporary stint at the Bet365 Stadium, Stoke signed Martins Indy on a permanent, but he was injured for most of the following season as the club were relegated. He is still at Stoke, whose league standing still doesn't reflect the quality within their squad. IKER MUNIAIN, Athletic Club. In isolation, IKER MUNIAIN has gone on to a very good career. In comparison to the expectations of some who likened him to Lionel Messi, he may have fallen narrowly short. A quick, tricky and inventive wide man or attacking midfielder, Muniain was born in Pamplona, and he has spent his entire career with Athletic Club, registering 411 appearances. Remarkably, Muniain was nominated for the Golden Boy Award in 2010, 2011 and 2012. Ahmed Musa, Al Nassr. Nigerian forward Ahmed Musa was the Nigerian Premier League top scorer at the age of 17, and in 2012, he joined Russian giant CSKA Moscow from Eredivisie side VVV Venlo. Musa spent 4.5 seasons in Moscow before making a then club record move to Leicester City. Things didn't work out for the Nigerian in the Premier League, and he now plays for Saudi outfit Al Nassr. Pedro Obiang, Sassuolo. Spanish-born Equatorial Guinea international Pedro Obiang helped Sampdoria win promotion from Serie B in 2012, earning himself a Golden Boy nomination. He joined West Ham in 2015, where he enjoyed 4 decent but not spectacular seasons before returning to Italy with Sassuolo in 2019. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Liverpool. The first of 3 English nominees for the 2012 Golden Boy Award, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, was more than worthy of a nomination, getting regular game time at Arsenal at the time, and even earning a surprise call-up and impressing for England at Euro 2012. Chamberlain, of course, ended up leaving Arsenal in 2017 to join Liverpool in order to play in his preferred role in central midfield, and he's gone on to win 35 caps for England, still aged only 26. Magomed Ozdoyev, Zenit St. Petersburg. Born in the Chechen capital of Grozny, but forced to flee as a child due to the First Chechen War, Magomed Ozdoyev was playing for Lokomotiv Moscow when he was nominated for the Golden Boy Award. In 2015, he left Lokomotiv for Rubin Kazan, before most recently heading to Zenit St. Petersburg in 2018. Paul Pogba, Manchester United. It was in 2012 that Paul Pogba took the bold decision to leave Manchester United for Juventus, meaning he only spent 6 months of the year getting regular game time. Those 6 months were impressive enough to earn him a Golden Boy nomination, along with his fine form at the Under-19 European Championships, and Pogba went on to spend 4 brilliant seasons in Turin. When he departed in 2016, in a return to Manchester United, Pogba became the most expensive footballer in the world at that time. He has since won a World Cup with France, but enjoyed mixed form and certainly mixed reviews during his time at Old Trafford. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool. There are a few players with Liverpool links in this video, and Mohamed Salah is the second current Liverpool player to feature. The Egyptian icon only arrived in Europe with Basel in 2012, but he immediately made a big impression. Moves to Chelsea, Roma and finally Liverpool followed, and Salah is now one of the most talented and effective wide players on earth. JONJO Shelvey, Newcastle United. From a current Liverpool player to a former one, JONJO Shelvey broke into the Liverpool team following injuries to Steven Gerrard and Lucas Leiva in 2012, and he impressed enough to earn himself an England debut. Liverpool cashed in on Shelvey in 2013 as he headed to Swansea, and the Englishman now plays for Newcastle United. A talented passer of the ball, Shelvey hasn't been capped by England since 2015, something many Newcastle fans are aggrieved about. Raheem Sterling, Manchester City. I said there was a strong Liverpool theme in parts of this video, and I wasn't lying. Raheem Sterling is 3 years younger than JONJO Shelvey, and he too made his England debut after impressing at Anfield in 2012. The youngest player nominated for the Golden Boy Award in 2012, Sterling was only 17 at the time. He only played 36 times for Liverpool in the 2012-13 campaign. He kicked on during the next 2 seasons before Man City came calling, in a move that made Sterling the most expensive English footballer on earth at that time. Sterling, like Salah, is now undeniably one of the most talented and dangerous wide players in the world game, and he has already won 56 caps for England, aged only 25. Raphael Varane, Real Madrid. Raphael Varane shot to prominence in the 2010-11 season as he starred for Lens in Ligue 1, ultimately prompting a move to Real Madrid. Varane spent most of 2012 as a semi-regular at the Bernabeu, but he soon became a bona fide regular. Now aged 27, Varane is among the best centre-backs in world football. He has played over 300 games for Real Madrid, he's won 17 trophies at club level and a World Cup with France. Marco Verratti, PSG. The sixth and final player in this video still at the same club as they were when they were nominated for the Golden Boy Award, Marco Verratti, was a really shrewd signing by PSG from Serie B side Pescara in 2012. One of the most gifted holding or central midfield players on earth, Verratti is so talented, he gets a free pass for often not being the most disciplined away from the pitch. He has played over 300 games for PSG and has won 37 caps for Italy, now aged 27. Granit Xhaka, Arsenal. And so we come to our last inclusion, and that man is Granit Xhaka. Xhaka joined Borussia Mönchengladbach from Basel in 2012, already a regular for Switzerland at that time. Xhaka impressed in the Bundesliga, earning a move to Arsenal in 2016, although he's enjoyed mixed fortunes in North London. Capped 82 times by Switzerland at the age of 27, the powerful left-footer stands a good chance of becoming the nation's most capped player of all time at some stage. So that is it for every 2012 Golden Boy nominee. Of the 40 players, I would say about 10 or 11 of them could fairly be described as world-class or very close to being world-class in 2020. Meanwhile, about 6 or 7 have really fallen off a cliff and struggled to live up to their potential. 2 players, Jesse Rodriguez and Jurgen Locadia, have since dabbled in the music industry, 3 have won the World Cup, and 2 have had the privilege of playing for Stoke City. That is it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, I found it quite interesting, and now I'm off to play some Football Manager. Thank you all for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, have a sensational but safe weekend, and don't forget to subscribe to the one and only HITC Sevens.